So who here has been to the circus? Hands, please. So what if I told you that your money, whether that being going to tickets or souvenirs or food, was helping in the continuation of animal cruelty in the circus world? I bet you wouldn't want to go then. Wild animals are being used for entertainment and not able to roam free like they should. They are not meant to perform tricks like they're humans. This has got to stop. Let's break it down to 3 key factors that are involved with this cruelty to animals in the circus industry. Number 1, 50 weeks out of the year they are caged as they are being transported to different cities, and they are put in boxcars and trailers that are way too small for them to where they could barely move around. That's compared to animals in the wild and in Africa in their natural habitat. It's just wrong. In addition to that, they are also in there all day because it's an industry, it's a circus industry, so their main focus is the profit and the profit that they make while they're on the road. So if they can stop as little as possible, then they're all for it. That means these animals are sitting in their waste all day, and it can lead to just horrible living conditions for all of the animals. If you think that's bad, it only gets worse. And now we're getting to the physical abuse that these animals have to go through basically on a daily basis. These animals are trained to do tricks, and whenever they get them wrong, or in order to get them to fear their trainer, they use electrical pods and they use chains and whips. And according to the PETA website, which, in case you guys don't know, PETA stands for People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. On their website, it states that they are taken from their habitat as soon as they're born. They're taken from their mom, and so when these trainers get them in their hands, they're very vulnerable. So they teach them how to grow up to fear their trainers as if they were their parent. So they use all these kind of tactics to get them to do all these tricks, and the physical abuse is just horrible. They also use multiple they will make you think that they use some kind of reward system and getting them to do these tricks, but no, it's all abuse. If they do it, then good for them. If they don't, then it's the electric pods or the chains or the whips or whatever. Now, the last and final key point that I think is the worst is the people's safety and the audience of these circuses. I mean, it states on another website that's pretty well known, called Paul's, that there are public records that elephants have been used in many circus acts that have been tested positive for tuberculosis. What happens whenever these elephants just snap from all the years of abuse and turn on the public or turn on their trainers? It could be a deadly situation. And on the PETA website, there is an account that a police officer gives that he was in a situation where an elephant just turned on the audience and started running wild. And the only way that he could get the elephant to stop or to calm down was to call for backup and gun the elephant down. I mean, you can't blame the elephant for wanting to escape the circus, or any of these animals for wanting to escape the circus, and when that happens, it's bad for everyone, including the public or including whoever it comes in contact with. So in conclusion, my final closing is this has got to stop. I mean, it's unethical even for animals, and it's not right, and I am nothing but against any kind of circus acts that have animals. I mean, there are different circuses that include humans and trapeze that have a choice, but these animals don't. They're taken while they're young, and they have no choice whatsoever to be, whether they want to be in this industry or not. So, any questions?
Is there an agency or advocates that are fighting to do something about this situation?
Well, there are, whenever circus comes to town, you will see a group of people who are petitioning and protesting in front of it, but as far as legally, there are no government agencies that monitor the training sessions or monitor anything that goes on as far as training-wise, which is where the abuse takes place. So, no, there isn't, but there are minimum standards of how these animals should be treated, but they are by no means met in any way.
Well, after hearing about the animals, you know, I never thought about the cruelty toward them, just the entertainment. But, you know, it is true, you know, when you think about it, it's the money aspect, you know. The almighty dollars.
Where's your question?
Oh, what the question is? Oh, do the are they fined, or somebody watching over these places that use animals for that purpose?
As far as a specific fine, I mean, there are complaints that go out, but of course, they don't have any proof as far as evidence to these animals being mistreated or anything. So, of course, they can't do nothing about it. As they get on the scene, it's all perfect, and they have no evidence, or they don't have search warrants to go and search for any of the quarters that these animals are living in. So, as far as specific fines, I mean, you have to be able to prove that there was something unlawful happening. Yes.
How many animals are victims of cruelty a year?
It doesn't really give a specific number on the websites that I looked up, but it's a lot. I mean, there's multiple circuses in each city. So, and due to the lack of evidence that they have of these animals being abused, there are some. I mean, it's kind of in question to get a specific number, but there have been videos that have been uncovered as far as that have been leaked out that include the animal abuse. But I mean, unless these officers can see abuse take place, then there's really nothing they can do.